You do make that push eventually. Before you get there, kind of what did you see to start the game? And it just shots weren't falling. What was not there that you wanted to see?
Shots going in.
What did you think of the defensive energy level?
Great.
What did happen at least to get things going and make it, I think it was as little as 7 early in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, I think for 90% of the guys that played tonight, like just an incredible competitive spirit. LeBron led that, but I thought all the guys, again, about 90% of them, they brought it, and we defended at a high level, made it tough on their stars, and after some early non-box outs, I thought we did a better job. Some unlucky bounces in the second half. I thought we did a better job of just pursuing the basketball, getting the 50-50 balls. But yeah, just highly, highly competitive group today, and really proud of them.
I understand you didn't have an update on Luka. Did you guys get a sense for when this happened during the game?
I don't know anything. Yeah, sorry, I don't know anything.
Did you notice him kind of in the second quarter?
Sorry, I'll repeat it because you guys weren't in there. Yeah, I saw him limping in the second quarter. He told me at halftime he couldn't go. I don't have any other information.
Do you guys now in the last 2 games have had five technicals, I think, for interactions with officials? Is that something that needs to be addressed with your group?
The overall, the consistency, and it's something I'm going to talk with Byron about tomorrow. The consistency needs to be addressed. That needs to be addressed, and it will be. I mean, I think if any coach, any player, what we ask for is consistency, and that's not to single any official out or any crew out. It's not about that. We need to know what it is night to night. We've had a number, and this is where I get frustrated a little bit, and I keep asking the league to please reach out to me and respond to every time I do the coach's feedback thing. I don't get any response from the league. Nobody ever reaches out to me. The way we do challenges and the definitions of challenges and the definitions of what the X, Y, or Z and why you can or can't, it's different with every different crew. And we're supposed to have the guy at the replay center, whoever's in charge that night, we're supposed to have like some level of consistency, and the definitions just get changed every single night.
Were you under the impression you could challenge the block charge tonight, and were you told that you could and then later told you were not able to? Is that what happened?
Yeah. Well, Josh came to me and said, I don't want you to waste your challenge, but there's a chance that, it's 2 separate plays, which, again, I've seen this happen. Guy, somebody's trying to box a guy out and gets fouled. Somebody goes over the back and there's a clear foul. Ball gets deflected off the defensive team. You should be, I've seen that challenge and I've seen that work. So it's not 2 separate plays. The ball is part of the play. The ball got loose because of the charge and then it was deflected. It's not 2 separate plays. That's an insane definition. Insane.
The unrelated to that, you guys were 6 for 38 from 3, which I ran some numbers as like an all-time bad shooting game.
Yeah, I was proud that we improved from 4 for 33. So we got better as the game progressed.
2 for 5. Finished on a heater.
40%.
What did you make of LeBron's rhythm? I mean, he's had a couple games like this now in this stretch, and do you think there's something to be taken from that in terms of maybe the next stage of the season that he could progress to?
I just look at every game as a singular game. The matchups are different every single game. They played small tonight for most of the game because Zubats wasn't in there. He did a terrific job of driving the basketball. Anytime he had Lopez on him, he beat him up from the perimeter. It was a great game from him.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
But collectively, they just had more energy and they needed to win. The Lakers just didn't have any chemistry tonight. It's like you got a Mercedes Benz and you got to put Volkswagen parts in it and try to win the race. It just didn't work tonight.
It's a great analogy.
Yeah, it is. The thing about you always try to find sometimes little nuggets, and I like the way LaRavia came out and played. 7 offensive rebounds. That showed that somebody was out there having some energy and some effort. And that's what it came down to, energy, effort, and it comes down to taking good shots. And for me, I know this is a new era and everybody wants to shoot threes. I always preach just get buckets. I think sometimes when you play a team like this, especially with Zubac being out, there's no rim protection. LeBron was taking it to the rack. Why can't other guys take it to the rack? And I feel like sometimes coaches need to say, hey, let's lay off the threes and go to the hole and try to get to the bucket and get fouls to play, because that's sometimes how the way to get back in the game. And when they did get back in the game, that's how they did it. So sometimes you got to do that before you get in the hole like they were starting the game off.
All right, let's talk Clippers for a moment. Just their 7th win of the year. It's their first home win since Halloween night. They did not win a home game in November, and it took all the way until December 20th to get it done, and Kawhi Leonard led the way. You talk about being desperate for a win, James. They had lost 5 in a row. Not a lot of good stuff going down around Clipperland, but tonight, Kawhi with 32, and the Clippers hit 16 threes, and they were 19 and 20 from the free throw line.
Yeah, the free
They
throw
did
line,
enough to win.
The free throw line helped them a lot, and the 3-ball helped them a lot. But, they're playing against a depleted team. Maybe this would give them some inspiration, but they do have weapons, man. When you have Harden and Kawhi, and you have a legitimate center in Zubac who left the game with the ankle sprain, they can conjure up some chemistry and get back on track, because they have the personnel to do it. It's just a matter if they can collectively get it done.
Yeah, you got guys like, John Collins, who's probably one of the, top picks coming out of the draft, had a good career, and we was the Hawks, and then he went over to the Jazz, and we remember the Jazz by getting dunked on by Ant-Man. But, tonight was one of those things that he came out, he was very aggressive. He got a couple of steals, he got some rebounds, and he knocked down 2 or 3 from the shot. So there are always sometimes those players you forget about, like a John Collins, that step up in games like this. He had a good game, 17 points, but you still have to find a way to, like, those guys who average 12, you keep them at the average.
Brook Lopez, who hasn't done much this year, hits 3 threes, has 11 points, one of those nights. We do need to talk Luka. Luka was struggling there in this game, 12 points, 4 of 13, just 1 for 6 from 3. Was frustrated for most of that first half, but then you could tell limping and then the leg contusion, we don't see him in the second half, so now your concerns go up even higher.
Yeah, even from the beginning, he just looked a little slow, wasn't hitting those little bunny shots.
Wasn't getting the calls either.
And it looked like he was searching for the calls a lot. He didn't get a few, but I didn't know if the calf was bothering him then or not, but not the typical start for Luka, and hopefully he can adjust and not miss, too many games, but it just didn't seem like he had the energy or the energy in his legs or his body. He missed quite a few short bunnies that he usually hits early in the game. So a little concerned, but hopefully he can.
Yeah, I'm not concerned. I think the fact that he was off tonight dictated how he played. He was off tonight, and so he was like, oh man, it ain't my night. And sometimes players can get in the way of themselves. And I think tonight he got in the way of himself by, like, anytime a guy does this, oh, fine, I'm like, dude, just play basketball. Because now it's a mental thing. Just hoop, go out and play hard, and he kind of got in the way of himself. I think next time he needs to just play basketball.
I mentioned to you guys that this Laker team had only 6 games with its starters out of the 26. Told you that in the pregame show, and only 3 games this year with their top 8 rotational guys. As I show you the injury report heading into this game, and it was deep. Rui was out. Mike Trudell talked about this during the broadcast. The hope is that maybe you can get him back by Christmas, but unsure. Hope is that DeAndre Ayton and Austin Reeves can be back by the next game. Gabe Vincent, we think, might be another week. He's out with low back soreness. Marcus Smart twisted his ankle during the game, but remained in it. And then, of course, Luka Doncic did not play in the second half. So the concern now for the Lakers is hopefully you can get some health to go along with this season.